The first Battle Royale game that made people excited. The first game in a long time that broke the concurrent player record in Steam. The beginning of the Battle Royale boom, which led to games such as Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Call of Duty Warzone. The game that I personally had a lot of fun playing. This is PlayerUnknown's Battleground. Since the beta testing of this game began, everyone seemed to be excited about this game. That's what I thought when I first played it too. The concept of Battle Royale was still really fresh when it first came out. The mostly realistic game physics was intriguing, and the gunplay was absolutely stunning. Just those reasons alone could easily overcome some of the major cons to this game, which I will mention later. The concept of Battle Royale wasn't completely new. A game like H1Z1 was still out in the market when PUBG came out, which was also, by the way, made by PlayerUnknown. But this game was different. It was like the better brother of H1Z1. The graphics, the gameplay, the sounds, the UI, everything was just better than H1Z1. This game was what the player desired for months. Battle Royale is a genre for a game where the last one standing wins, which basically means you have to eliminate every other player in order for you to win. Whether it be you hiding in the corner while others are fighting each other, or you go out and kill everyone you see, as long as you are the last one remaining, you win. This genre, alongside the complicated landmarks of PUBG, makes PUBG really difficult to master. PUBG is an FPS/TPS game where you have to find or loot your own guns, attachments, throwables, and armors the moment you drop anywhere on the map. Players can also find themselves cars if needed. The blue zone closes in every 3 minutes or so, with lesser time every round. When players are in the blue zone, they take damage, and as more rounds pass, the blue zone damage increases. There is also the red zone, where random bombs drop from the sky. The red zone is completely random but devastating, so players have to make sure to avoid the red zone when traveling across the map. One bomb is enough to eliminate a player in the red zone. But PUBG does not just come in solo player mode. There are the duo and the squad modes where players get paired up in 2 or 4 respectively. The advantages of this is that you get unlimited lives as long as your teammates are alive, and are available to heal you back into the game. So when you die the first time, you're not actually dead, but knocked. And your other teammates can bring you back into the game just by pressing F on the knocked body. But there are also cons. Let's assume that all your teammates got eliminated as the enemy confirmed the kills on the knocked bodies and it's just you remaining. You will have to go through a 1v4 situation, which is really hard to overcome. But if you do overcome, it will be one of the main highlights of the game. As the game aged, the graphics got better and players were having even more fun. The game was praised by many of the game critics and it all seemed to last that way. They were constantly updating the servers to have higher tick rate, constantly balancing guns and spawn rates, and the optimization of the game was getting better. But the cons were still there. Since the beginning of the game had terrible FPS. Even people with top of the level PCs did not get above 100 frames per second when in battle. The optimization of the game was absolute garbage. Even after several optimizations, the game still had really high fluctuation of FPS. The game's physics was good when it worked, but there were far too many bugs in the game which made it hard to consider a good physics engine. It was pretty normal for the cars to get stuck in terrains and explode. Cars would frequently fly, but that was not the main issue. There was a bigger issue that overcame these reasons. The main issue of this game was the hackers. Hackers are basically players who use cheats to get an unfair advantage to win the game. Wall hacks, ESP, aimbot are the main hacks, but there were some weird ones that are completely ridiculous. Some hacks could allow players to just shoot in the air and manage to eliminate players. Some hacks allowed the cars to float and kill other players mid-air. Some hacks just made everyone leave the game so that they could win. There are hackers in every video game. Whether it be Tetris, Overwatch, League of Legends, there just ought to be hackers. But the problem with PUBG was that there are way too many of them. Every match, out of 100, at least 20 people were hacking. For some of the matches, almost 50 of them were hacking. This made players rage. The players caused an uproar. They complained about it over and over again, but PUBG could not find the right answer to solving this matter. Because of this, players left, many of them. When the game first came out, the number of concurrent players was near 3 million, but now there are barely 200k players left. And I can guarantee that out of the players that left the game, most of them were just fed up with how many hackers there were in the game. It is sad to see how a wonderful game died because of the way the company dealt with hackers. As a player that devoted countless hours to PUBG, I feel like the company wasn't really ready when they first launched it. I can't stop myself from wondering how the game would have turned out if they had a good anti-cheat system that worked from the beginning. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.